Hey guys, Edison here. We're going to go over another 100 cards that I just got back from CGC. This is all going to be bulk with subgrade stuff, and it's technically a continuation of my previous, of a different video, but you don't actually have to watch that because I'm kind of just treating these as separate subs separate videos, just because 100 cards each video is honestly a lot to go over. I'm not sure what pile to start with. This is just 50. I took it out of a box, but I think they got really messed up and mixed up as I was pulling them out. So let's just go. These look mint. There's definitely beat up Japanese cards in this box. I saw some of them. Professor Oak setup, really dusty. Oh, and I mentioned this in the previous video too. You can see all that dust on the card itself, like just a lot. It's because I think I deleted the part where I showed it, but they do like a cardboard insert to divide the cards in the box, and that stuff flakes like that, so you have all this like excess cardboard rubbing off, and then it smells super musty. So like, yeah, I noticed that because I was taking these cards out of the box, and the reason they got mixed up is because like it smelled really bad to take it out, and I just rushed to get it done with. Probably another one. Ooh, red and blue. This is the tag team full art, red and blue on the front. I do like this card a lot. I don't think it's a particularly valuable card, but I just think it was really nice artwork to show. I mean, two iconic trainers. If you're a fan of First Generation, I think most people are. At least to some extent, this is just an iconic card, but nice. I'm noticing again, the labels are warped in the case. It's like slightly wavy. Japanese dusty card. 9.5 in the same card. What I really like too is the way the colors are done. Just the red on the left and the green on the right. It just looks nice. It presents really nice. That's probably the biggest reason I like full art trainers is they just make really nice like presentation pieces. I don't know how to describe it. Like I feel like holo rares are okay. Like half arts, I don't know, I guess you just say holo rares look nice. But that's like up close. But if you want to have like a nice wall display, full art trainers are the way to go. Steven's Resolve from Sky Splitting Charisma. I think I only had one of these that I saw. I want to say I paid like $10 for this raw. Mint 9. Nice looking trainer, full art. Another Professor Oak setup. Yeah, so these two cards tap into the red and blue, and the Professor Oak kind of tap into that genuine nostalgia I was going for. You can't really go wrong with stuff that pays homage to this generation. And not even like just Gen 1, I guess Professor Oak he has staying power. It's kind of like a Team Rocket full art. Or like any Team Rocket cards. Like Team Rocket's always going to exist. Blues Tactics from Miracle Twin. This is the one that came over in English, not the alternate art that's exclusive to Japanese. But it's a really dynamic card. And I don't think I've had this card in English, but the Japanese full art texture is really cool. I'm trying to move it around in the light so you can see it better. Just a great looking card. And if you notice, all this pack fresh Japanese stuff, we're getting 9s. Another 9. I would prefer if this stuff landed more in 9.5 range. Like that, 9.5 in the Blues Tactics. It is a shame how dusty this stuff is. I guess it's not the end of the world. All it really requires me to do is wipe everything down with Windex. Morgan, this is from GX Ultra Shiny. I think this card came over into Hidden Fates, but it's just a female full art card, 9.5, and label's not very center. Label's not center, but they gave me a 9 on centering for the card. Rough. Let's see, mint card. It's probably another one. Oh, it did get mixed up. Lucario Melmetal GX. This is from Tag All Stars. Just the gold full art. These are coming over into English. So I'm not really sure on the long-term prospects of the Japanese. Dana from Ultra Shiny GX. I bought these to kind of try to like catch the waifu train. I don't think these cards ever really popped off just because they're not actual, they're not like famous characters. Like they're not like a Marnie or Lily, like characters that are part of the mainline games that people know. 9 in that Lucario. 9 and 9.5. It is pretty cool to the back. You see that it has like a honeycomb texture to it. Let's go. This pile. These cards look a little bit more beat up, so I guess we're gonna have to start new piles. And then if you remember in December, I purchased a Japanese collection from like the EX era, like late e-reader into EX era. I had a lot of EXs, and these are all probably the beat up EXs that I sent in. But that's just tons of edgeware, cornerware. Probably 5 Deoxys EX from the Deoxys starter deck in Japan. These are all just probably beat up EXs. Really rough. 4. Oh, I noticed this one when I got the submission back. I just wanted to see the grids on these. They somehow confused this with Mega Mewtwo EX. I'm not sure if I made a mistake on the submission, but everything is wrong. Like the label is wrong. It's obviously not Mega Mewtwo, it's regular Mewtwo EX. It's not from 2015, it's from 2003. We see the copyright. And it's not that set code. It's a 026 out of 055, not out of 059. So that's a little unfortunate. I'm not sure if I probably could just sell it in this case and then like note that CGC made an error. But it's just a little bit annoying. Like, I don't know. It's not the biggest deal, but it's like what they do. Oh, this one's really rough. The whole piece missing there. 5. What they do is they have like what they call a quality control step, which I assume is like someone goes over the cards and makes sure that the labels match up with the cards themselves. That's ideally what I assume the quality control after grading is for. So like if that step is doing its job, you should catch that card. I do like this Metagross art. 5.5. So yeah, I don't know. What's the point of having that quality control thing if that card's getting messed up? 5 in the Hitmonchan EX. And that's not even the first card that's happened to. I had, well, this one's clean, so probably back to modern. I had a Pichu reverse holo from the Neo Premium File 2 set. Like it's that Pichu that comes with the Entei Charizard. And it was slabbed as an Entei. And I might have made a mistake on the submission form. Like I just got Pichu and Entei confused as I was filling it out because they're from the same file. I didn't really think about it. But this is cool one, Nidoking Web Series. First edition. You can just see it's a copy of base set artwork, but non-holo. And Web Series is just expensive to come by now. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. The Pichu story was just, yeah, they slabbed the Pichu as Entei, and that was that. Something I could do. Well, this is a really cool one. Empoleon V, this is the alternate art. Really, really nice, though. I mean, this is one where you really appreciate how high quality Japanese alt arts are. Full arts are. Just the amount of texture that's on this card. All right, and then this is a kind of a break from the trend. So there's like cardboard fragments on it, but that comes off. But you could see right there that the actual case is scuffed. Let me do like that. Yeah, you see right along the M and up, it's scuffed. Maybe I can buff that out with, you can just get plastic buffer. Lucario Metal GX, CGC 9. Yeah, you probably use a plastic buffer. Oh, this is another one. Yeah. Oh, the one after this too is also scuffed. Wow. This one's not as bad, but it's definitely a little damage on the case. Boy pull, this was like a pack purchase promo. I mean, it's a little frustrating to have to get the Windex out to clean up all these slabs. This one's not as bad. You can see it right there. Just annoying that I have to Windex all these slabs down. And it's even more annoying now that I have to actually get out plastic buffer. But at the same time, I know P.S.A. has had issues where slabs do come back dirty like that. So, that, you know, I'm not trying to just make it seem like CGC has issues. Every company does. Victory Medal. This is, I don't know, I have so many of this card. I have so many to the point where it actually gets annoying to see them because they don't sell very often. But it's more so a long-term play for me just to have all of these. More 9s, and we're wrapping up on this pile. This is Mint card, Professor Oak's setup. You can kind of see it off screen, but my pile of 9s is just growing. Just constantly growing. Let me actually just stack all these EXs together because they're all so low grade. You can kind of just go together. And that stuff still sells pretty well for me. I think it's just because the raw price of EX cards is going up. And when the raw price of anything goes up, you know, the graded price floor kind of moves up along with it. Look at this case. This one's really scuffed. Right there. That definitely needs to get buffed up. That's really frustrating though. Morgan 9.5, one of those ultra shiny GX full arts. Morgan M9. Hey, these are all scuffed. Wow. Every single one. Polion V. And it's not like, you know, obviously dust on a case. Even if I scan the case in and it has dust on it, it's not the biggest deal because dust just comes off naturally. Or you can even use like the scanner I use. Oh, look at that corner. Wow, that's bent. Really bent. Wow, wait, that corner. Actually, the rest of the card is much better than a lot of the other EXs. We saw just that corner. That corner got a 6.5. I mean, I guess that's the really only bad corner. That's a good grade, relatively speaking, compared to the rest. Yeah, so it's not like dust that comes off. Like, damage on the case like this is like, it's almost unfair for the buyer to receive the card like this. And this stuff shows up on my scan, so I do actually have to take care of it and buff this stuff out before I list. Or before I even take a picture, I should say. Look at that corner. I mean, the rest isn't awful. It's probably like a 7. If that wasn't there, I would probably say it's like a 7 without that. I don't know what it goes down to. Oh, 3.5. That's a little rough, I guess, for that. Because that seems like to be the main issue. Is this right here, and they bumped it down to 2.5. This is probably not a good card to grade. 3.5 Vileplume EX. I don't think I thought they would. I don't think I thought they would treat that crease that harshly. 4.5 Rayquaza. It's probably still like that. Vileplume is probably just questionable because Vileplume's not a popular Pokemon, but these Rayquazas are probably just good because. I mean, if the underlying Pokemon is popular, it's fine to get a low-grade card. Like the Charizard EX. This is a nice artwork. Charizard EX, even from like the deck in Japanese, is still, you know, in a CGC 4, P.S.A. 4, is still over $100. So if the Pokemon itself is popular, which I think Rayquaza definitely qualifies for, it's worth it. This one as well, I mean, it's not going to be worth over 100 for a Typhlosion, but Typhlosion is popular enough that it will sell pretty quickly, even in low grade. Clefable 5. And this stuff is really interesting for me just to see because I talked to people about it. It's for a long time, Pokemon cards were only really worth anything in 10. And then obviously if you didn't have a 10, the next best is a 9. And then that's kind of where it cuts off. If you can't afford 10, you grab a 9. But I think we're getting to a point where a lot of stuff is getting expensive. And as the price of everything kind of goes up, now you have people kind of flocking towards low grade cards as alternatives. And I mean, a good example would just be the fact that Rayquaza Gold Star and a P.S.A. 1 is still over $1,100. Camera up. So there's 2 camera ups in that pile. Let me get more cards out and we'll continue what I was just talking about. So to continue on my the point I was just trying to make is that yeah, just as people get priced out of higher grade copies of like, you know, ultra rare cards or just rare cards, I think there's more validity to go for low grade stuff. And, you know, I don't know if it's the best idea for people to buy that stuff, but you can find margins and make money off of just grading rare cards that are beat up. Like there is still going to be demand because not everyone can afford high-end stuff. And that's something that I've kind of taken over from comic books, because in comic books, it's a lot more common for people to settle for low-grade copies of key issues. And I think that, ooh, pristine 10. I'm not joking when I say this. This is the first 10 that I've gotten back from CGC in the past 600 cards. I would say it's like it took me 600 cards to get 110, which also makes me not even want to sell it because it's like, I mean, it's like insane to me that this got a 10 from the same exact batch as all these other 124 Pikas that I sent in. The other ones all got 995. See, 995. That one just happened to get a 10, and it's like it's not even. There's no price I could put on the 10 that I'd be happy with selling it for, because of how hard it was to even get that card in that grade. It's I hate I hate to sound like I'm okay, I don't like P.S.A. I'll be frank. I don't like that company. I think that company can't really grade stuff correctly. Oh, it's really nice. Zoom roll in France. These e-reader cards I purchased as like near mint. So, I mean, technically this is near mint on the label, but I consider this more of a mint card if it's getting E5. Yeah, as I said, like I don't like P.S.A. to begin with, and like the fact that it's so much harder to get a CGC 10 than a P.S.A. 10, it makes me sad that they're priced pretty competitively the same, just because there's like this expectation that they are equivalent grades. When if you ask anyone that grades with CGC, they'll tell you like, there's no way. A CGC 10 feels like that feels like a gem mint card. 7.5. This one got docked on surface, so it has similar subgrades. Oh, actually, no, they're all like all over the place. This Dugong and the Victory Ball have similar subgrades with corner edges, but this one got dunged on surface. Maybe I have to inspect it afterwards. There's probably a scratch somewhere on the hollow foil, but it's nice cards. I really like this e-reader stuff. This is from Wind from the Sea, Split Earth. Wind from the Sea. This is just an iconic artwork of Lantern by Yukamori. This is a solid grade of 9. Wow, it's a really good grade. I think I did kind of overpay. Maybe not overpay. They were probably like $15 a piece with Charizard VMAX. We're going to see quite a few. I sent in, I believe, 20 Charizard VMAXs in this submission. 8.5 dinged on surface. Is that supposed to be there? All right, just give me a second. I'm looking at this card. I just want to briefly see if this is the issue, but you can kind of see it there. There's like 2 little dots on his thigh that I don't think they're supposed to be there. I'm not sure if that's the issue, but yeah, 8 on surface, 9.5, 9. You're gonna see a lot of these. This card has gone down quite a bit in terms of price. Obviously, just because there's people like me who are grading so many of them, but I mean, I don't think it's ever a bad play to just have one. Have them graded, I should say. Have them graded in stock. I just got this submission back, and I got this submission back a week ago, and then a couple of days, like almost 2 weeks ago, I bought another, I think, 15 Charizard VMAXs. Oh my god, I hate this card, 143 S-P. This card maybe was not a good idea to buy so many of. And I think if you go on like the P.S.A. pop thing, where it shows you like what card is being graded the most, this isn't like the top 10 most graded cards. Like most amount of cards being added to the census each week. So many 143s. So I really might just end up dumping these for like cost plus grading, just to clear them out. I prefer to move the money into something else instead of competing for the bottom with those. 143. And I think a big part of this too is I purchased mine. So like I actually had to pay money to get them. But a lot of people who are smarter than me, they ended up just buying them from the Pokemon Center website, because you could just buy the packs from the website and get the cards for free. And that was definitely the right move, because then you could just either sell the packs or you sell the card and get free packs. I mean, you get more for your money, no matter how you split it that way. Oh my god, they're all mint 9. That's really annoying. Actually, this is very anecdotal. I find it a lot easier to sell a CGC 9 for like a fair price than a CGC 9.5. And I think that's just because 9.5s just aren't developed yet. People don't know how to value them. But for the most part, I would say a 9.5 in CGC is a lot closer to a P.S.A. 10. And I would say like a 9 in CGC is pretty close to a P.S.A. 9 in terms of quality. Not all the time. There's some of them that are just really tough. But I think just stuff that's cheaper is just easier to sell in general. And yeah, I don't know, like a 9, I'm not expecting to get that much for, but a 9.5, I kind of want to hold on and get a premium. Oh, I have no clue what this holdback is. It looks fine. Espeon Crossing This is just a beautiful hollow. Wowie. Got a 8 on surface. It's probably scratched on the back. I know when I submitted this stuff in, I didn't really check old backs well. And that's the thing with old back cards, is like to actually see the issues, you gotta get like not magnifying glass, like a flashlight, or like a lamp and run all the different angles. That corner's dinged up. This one has a lot of edge wear. Umbreon McDonald's promo. Not a great grade, but just an iconic card. Just as an alternative. 2002 McDonald's promo. This one's dinged up. Poliwrath base set, no rarity symbol. You see bottom right corner, no rarity. No symbol there. This is, I mentioned this in a lot of videos, but no rarity is considered like the first edition of Japanese base set. And in that regard, it's technically like the first edition of Pokemon altogether. Sudowoodo from Wind from the Sea. Nice little hollow. So yeah, the 9s I might just end up dumping. 8.5. And the thing is too, like I prefer to dump these because there's so many people competing with me. I'd finally take a low price just to get rid of them. But then stuff like this Tentacruel, like all the e-reader cards, the McDonald's promos, that stuff I'm not really competing with many people on. So I can hold out and get a more premium price. This edge is messed up there, right? You can see that. 7.5 on Octillery. Yeah, it got low edges and surface grade. But to be fair, they were listed as near mint and they graded in that 7 to 8 range. I would say that'd be like the average is probably around to 8 for them. That's fair. I would definitely consider that like that's consistent with how I would value near mint card is around to 8. Charizard VMAX. More VMAXs. Yeah, so for what I paid for the 143s, I really could have just bought even more VMAXs, and that was definitely the right move. More VMAXs are better. This card just looks nicer, and like to be frank, there are a lot of people who bought these and graded them, but it's definitely not on the scale of that Charizard pack promo. Like there's hundreds of sellers trying to dump that, and I mean, probably low double digits dumping graded VMAXs, and this card just looks nice. Such a cool looking card. Really good colors. It is maybe boring as a viewer to just see me get the same card over and over. Let's see. All right, not bad. We're averaging 110 subgrade per Charizard VMAX. So I don't know how many. Ideally, it's tough, man. Like, oh, sorry, wrong pile. Like, that's what makes me so sad. Like, if I got a 10 in this Charizard VMAX, would I even want to sell it? Like the same thing with that Pikachu. Like just knowing how hard it is, how many cards I had to submit, how many like pack fresh cards, all the same exact condition to my eyes now that I submitted, and I got only one Pikachu 10. Like how many cards I actually have to submit of this Charizard to pull a 10 out? Is it just luck? Are their standards really just that tough? Did I just happen to get the grader in a good mood? He came back from his lunch break and he was like, you know what? I know this guy just paid thousands of dollars to get his stuff graded, and I'm gonna bless him by giving him 110. Like, yeah, so I'm like ranty, but like, I'm just like, my mind it gets messed up just thinking about how many cards that were in this sub and how few cards came back as 10. It's almost shocking to me. Well, not even how few, just one card came back as a 10. Well, 9s. Actually, this is gonna be. I do want to show this actually. So we do my 9 pile. And my 9.5 pile. So 9.5s, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 9 9.5s. So this was 50 cards, 9 9.5s. I don't know how many like mixed grades. A lot of these mixed grades ones right here were like the e-reader stuff. This is a really nice card, the Espeon, really cool Umbreon. So that stuff is fair to get below, to get like a little bit under 9, to get around that near mint range. And then this giant pile right here is my 9s. And we've talked about it before. I talked about it in the last video when I went over some other cards from the submission. I had like an 83% 9 rate, which you would think is nice. You expect most of my cards to be near mint just because they're pack fresh Japanese. But I really would expect more cards to at least end up in that 9.5 range like this. And maybe to get a little bit lucky, like, I mean, okay, like I can say it this way. Remember I said 20 Charizard VMAXs in? I would kind of hope that one Charizard VMAX that I sent in, of those 20, came back 10. Actually, is this 9? Oh, no. I'm sorry, I'm going to get rid of these Pikachus. So of 20 Charizard VMAXs, 8 got 9.5, 12 got 9s, and then none got 10s. I would really hope that at least one of them had crossed over to a 10. And even as I mentioned, at that point, I don't even know if I'd sell it because I just know it's that hard for me to get a P.S.A. CGC 10. All right. I mentioned in the last video, a lot of this stuff, if you're interested in anything, I'm starting my own website, islecollectibles.com. I don't know if it's up by the time this video comes out. It'll be in the description, most likely. I don't even know. It depends, I guess, when you're watching this too, if this stuff is still available. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the third part of this return.